Have you ever wondered why your son wants the latest pair of Nikes? Or why your daughter's laptop just has to be Apple? Or even why your 5-year-old suddenly wants Lucky Charms instead of Fruit Loops? You may think it's a trend or a phase, but what if these were actually responses to digital media? Media is everywhere. And like most things, media is a business. Media companies make money by selling advertising spaces to major brands. This used to be done through commercials. However, the introduction of streaming services took away some of these commercial spots. So media companies had to get creative. They came up with product placement. According to researchers Lahu and Prasad, product placement is when a brand or product is intentionally placed into a cultural medium. We've all been exposed to product placement, even kids. And what happens when kids are exposed to that? Well, let's just say it can convince even an almost adult to buy an expensive pair of leggings because she wants to fit in. Product placement has the ability to influence adolescent purchasing decisions and social status perceptions. To minimize these effects, parents and guardians have to step in. Now that sounds like a lot, but let's break it down and talk about how product placement affects kids and how we can steer them away from major brands. Product placement is everywhere. It's in movies and TV shows like Zootopia. It's in video games like Fortnite. It's even in YouTube and social media videos, such as Katy Perry's Roar music video, where she uses a Nokia cell phone. Kids react to product placement in one of two ways. According to Halmstad University's marketing program, kids are drawn to products placed into media not because they specifically recall them, but because they look familiar. The other reaction is nothing. Sometimes kids don't recognize when they're being advertised to, because according to the Journal of Youth and Adolescence, kids haven't developed this skill yet. Adults are cognitively developed and can recognize when a marketing pull is being made and respond critically. However, kids don't have that same ability quite yet. When kids react to product placement, there are typically two influences in their lives. The first is on family purchasing decisions. Most kids don't have their own money to buy things, but their parents can buy things for them. Take the example of the cereal. If your son wants Lucky Charms, are you gonna tell him no if cereal's all he eats for breakfast? The other influence for purchases is on adolescents who can buy their own things. These kids don't consider the benefits or consequences of certain products. A 2017 Appetite Journal study found that kids who watched Alvin and the Chipmunks gravitated towards the snacks the chipmunks ate, even though they were calorically high and nutritionally low. The kids didn't necessarily care about the nutritional value of the cheese balls that Theodore was stuffing into his adorable chipmunk face. The other major influence is on social status perceptions. Major brands are typically associated with popularity or social acceptance. This happens when characters or influencers in media use them. These people are typically portrayed as popular and well-liked. Take Troy from High School Musical, for example. Troy is the star of the basketball team and also the star of the high school's musical. Because he wears Converse sneakers in the third movie, Troy associates the sneakers with popularity and success, two things that most kids want. Now, the influences of product placement are often hard to see at a young age, but when kids grow up and reach their adulthood, the effects become more prominent. The first influence of product placement we see is on finances. Again, kids who can make their own purchasing decisions don't often consider the financial implications. They don't consider the price, and products placed in the media are typically more expensive than your average product. When kids buy these products continuously, they negatively impact what's called their financial literacy. According to the United Way's Nation Capital Area chapter, financial literacy is the combined knowledge and skills required to make responsible and informed financial decisions. Obviously, making expensive purchases all the time is not a responsible financial decision. This can put children in a position of financial instability and risk debt. When they become adults, these consequences are serious, such as when they're trying to support a family, manage a house, or even pay off a car. The other influence is on social status perceptions. When kids don't have a popular product that influencers have, they feel left out. And a study conducted by Tantia University found that teens who don't keep up with fashion trends feel more isolated, have lower self-esteem, and are at risk of developing anxiety. When kids don't have popular products and compare themselves to the people they see online, they create a cycle of worry and comparison that ultimately leads to the development of mental health issues as they're exposed to more and more media. Now, the parents out there are probably like, I never want that to be my kid. And I understand. So, what should we do about it? Well, let's find out. Unfortunately, the easy solution would just be to say, this is an advertisement. Don't follow it. But the Journal of Youth and Adolescence has proven this to be ineffective, stating that disclosing an advertisement's purpose to a child will not affect their perception of the product. So we have to instead compare brands. This means talking to kids about name brand products versus alternative brands. To do this at home, you could try buying an off-brand pair of clothes and showing your child how they look and function similar to the name brand, just don't have the little logo. Take these Uggs brand slippers, for example. A typical Uggs slipper costs around $120, but the Amazon brand is $19.99. When talking about brand comparisons, we need to stress that functionality and affordability are more important than if it was online. When brand comparisons are introduced to children, they build an understanding that cheaper sometimes can be better. It encourages kids to choose affordable options and sets them up for financial success. In social situations, less kids will have name brand products because less parents are buying them. This will disassociate popularity and a certain brand and will take pressure off of kids. Less pressure equals happier kids, and this guards against that cycle of worry that leads into mental health issues. So now you probably understand what product placement is and how it affects kids. You also probably understand that there are some negative consequences down the road from it. And parents and guardians have a responsibility to introduce brand comparisons to help mitigate those effects. We want kids to be successful. And digital media is not going away. So to help them thrive in this modern age, parents and guardians have to teach them. What happens when they do this? Well, let's just say they can convince a certain someone that these $100 pair of leggings are maybe not worth it when the Amazon brand look and feel the exact same. Thanks for watching.